Hey Instagram, what's up? It's been a long time since I've been here. We at Indie Birth were out of the Instagram game for a while there, but we have now figured out how to engage with this platform in a way that feels more authentic, less icky, less weird, all good things. So we are doing Friday videos, and this Friday, today, it's my turn. So I was going to talk a little bit about a theme that keeps popping up here recently, which, well, I guess it's kind of variation on the theme. So there's a lot going on. Lots changed since I've done a live. A lot of life has happened, and we have a new podcast coming out about first births and first vaginal births specifically, first-time babies. So that's been on our minds. I've had a couple first-time moms birth recently, and it is just one of those things that's a really, I think, cool topic. And on the same thread, we have a lot of people right now in our Seriously Epic Birth Warrior project, which is a doula training as well as an introduction to midwifery. And over there, a theme that keeps coming up is that there are women who want to be supporting other women in birth, even though they have not had children, babies of their own yet. So that's going to be a podcast that I record probably in the next week or two when I get a sec to do that. So the reason that those two things feel the same to me, maybe you're like not sure where I'm going with this, but they feel similar to me in that I also often hear from women who are pregnant for the first time, pregnant and planning their first birth, that they feel like since they haven't been through it, they wonder if they really can, should, or want to do it at home. And so that's the similarity, and it's a thing that keeps coming up over and over again, just in these different variations on this same pattern of, I haven't done this before, so what do I know, or what can I bring to the table? So I think something that we like to talk about here at Indie Birth, and that I think is really important for people to remember, is that even if we haven't given birth, all of us come from a long, long, long line of women who have given birth, that it's something that is within us at the cellular level, and that it isn't, what am I trying to say here? What I'm trying to say here is that birth is not like something that you can get right, whether it's you having a baby yourself for the first time or attending a birth when you haven't had a baby yet. There's not a right way to give birth. There's not a right way to doula. It's something that is, you have to really zoom out and see it for what it is, which is just how to show up and be a human, the way that you want to be showing up and being a human in your life. Again, whether you're giving birth or showing up and being a support for other people who are giving birth. So yeah, there's the podcast coming out very soon with me and Marin both talking about first births. And we actually did a fun breakdown on, I think it's fun, the percentage of first births that we've attended that were fast, what we were calling fast, what we were calling kind of, average, and then long. And it wasn't necessarily surprising to us, but it was kind of fun to put a number on those different variations that we've seen over the last, long time. I've been going to births for a little over 9 years, and Marin has been going to births for much longer than that. So that's something we explore in that podcast, which will be out soon. And then, like I said, I'm going to be exploring more in depth this idea about being as someone commented here, a childless birth worker. And that is how I started out. So I started going to births when I was about to turn 22 at the very first birth. It was that same month that I was going to be having my 22nd birthday. And I had some some questions about, I had an awareness that I hadn't given birth, but I never experienced being hung up about it like a lot of people that I've talked with seem to be. And I'm not saying that in like a judgmental way or in like a, oh, you shouldn't be hung up on it kind of way, but it's been fun to explore that more in depth with the women who are part of our Birth Warrior project, because it's been a major theme, which is why I'm going to make a podcast about it. So, but if you don't don't get time to listen to that and are hoping for some wise words right this second, my really short version of this answer when someone says, can I be a good doula? Can I be a good midwife if I haven't had a baby yet? Is, of course you can. There are people who've also had lots of babies and are not good doulas or midwives. So it isn't a prerequisite to be a good birth worker. And I think something I'll explore more in the podcast than I can do right now with the time I have at the moment, is, I've experienced going to births before having babies, after having one baby, and after having my second baby. And, what I think is really important to know is that it does change things, but none of those lenses or viewpoints or perspectives is better or worse in general, right? So I was a student at the time, but I was a different student midwife before having my daughter, and I was a very different midwife after having her. I'm also a different midwife now after having my son a year ago. So all of my experiences have been really, informative in terms of who I am and how I show up to births. But again, it doesn't make me a better or worse midwife, and it won't make you a better or a worse doula. So that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about today. And I guess just to go back again, tying this into, I don't get a ton of these questions, but I've certainly had this question come up around, it's my first baby. Should I have a home birth, or should I have a hospital birth or a birth center birth this first time, since I'm not sure what I'm getting myself into? It feels like a similar thing. It really comes down to, both of these questions or both of these places of worry or concern come down to a fear of the unknown and a lack of confidence. And, you don't have to be the most confident or fearless person going into home birth. That's not what I mean. But I think it's just letting people know it's okay to not feel confident and not feel like what it's going to be like, and having a home birth with your first baby is a wonderful choice if that's what feels right for you. So I'd love to talk more about all of these things and more things. We're going to be doing, again, these regular Friday broadcasts on a variety of topics. That was the one that I wanted to talk about today. So if you have ideas, send them my way. Questions, send them my way. You can message us here. You can also email us at margo@indiebirth.org, or if you want to catch Marin, she's at marin@indiebirth.org. Just a reminder that we are continuously enrolling for the Birth Warrior Project, our doula training course. It's also an introduction to midwifery and is going to be a prerequisite for our Indie Birth Midwifery School moving forward. We probably will be sharing some pretty big changes that we're making with our midwifery school, which are really exciting as well. So that'll be in the next month or so. So keep your ears perked up for that. That's it from me. So have a nice rest of your Friday and an awesome weekend, everybody.